Mr. Drake, what about the allegations that your tests end up killing people?
You finished?
Well, I think we opened him up. I'm a reporter. I found something really bad. And I have been taken.
Cooperate, and you just might survive.
Why would we do that? Aren't you Eddie Brock? I used to be.
Hey everybody, happy trailer week. We got some new Venom to break down and the prequel comic book that they just released in the last couple of days. If you didn't see it, there is a comic book that explains a little bit more about what's going on with the symbiote, why it is he needs Eddie to survive, and why it's so important for Eddie to embrace that. There's a new round of that Spider-Man PS4 game giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. I'll name a new winner at the end of this. So the whole comic book is dedicated to explaining the relationship that you see in that clip that I put at the beginning of this, where he starts talking to Eddie, do what I tell you, listen to me, and we just might survive. Like that bargaining scene where it's like, why would I, want to help you? What's going on here? The prequel comic confirms a bunch of big things, so I'll read through the most important parts of this. So it picks up with that scene with Doris Skirth, who's played by Jenny Slate's character that we saw in the trailer. Remember how everyone was really upset by the way she pronounced symbiote, and then they changed it in one of the later trailer edits? So it opens with her trying to tail Eddie so that she can inform on what's happening within the Life Foundation, because she is a scientist that works for Carlton Drake. So Eddie catches her in the act of trying to tail him, and he says, "So I used to be a reporter once. I was pretty successful. Job required you to follow a lot of people who don't want to be followed. Have to learn how to disappear, how to fade into the background, hide in plain sight, and I got pretty good at it. You suck, however. You lack even the fundamental ability required to form even the most basic covert existence, whoever you are. My name is Doris Skirth. I need your help. I work at the Life Foundation." Ah, okay, that case, see you later. Those turtles carry salmonella, by the way. Hand sanitizers over in aisle 3. This is that same bodega where he goes all crazy on the person that's trying to rob Mrs. C. And that's just her character's name in the movie. They're just calling her Mrs. C. So she chases him down after this scene here where Eddie accuses him about killing people in these governmental tests. And he's like, that's it, end of interview, get out of here. So she chases him down and says, no, wait, you're right about all this. This is when he gets the symbiote, because when he comes back to his apartment, he's all groggy-headed like, oh, what just happened? This is so crazy. He starts to hear the symbiote speaking in his head, and it tries to start giving him advice. Don't open that door. Who? What? Who's talking to me? I told you, don't open that door. So this is that trailer scene where the symbiote goes into automatic mode, taking control of Eddie's body and taking down these villains from the Life Foundation. I think the funny thing here is that the symbiote has a sense of humor. What are you doing? I'm putting my hands up. You're making us look bad. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Why would you do that? Because it's the sensible thing to do. So the symbiote says enough is enough, I'm taking the driver's seat, takes down all these villains, then they start to talk to each other, and you get that joke about biting people's heads off. Now let's all bite their heads off and throw them in the corner. Oh god, 2 piles, a pile of bodies and a pile of heads. You get a brief scene where Carlton Drake is monitoring this from the Life Foundation, where he sort of explains that all they have to do is kill Eddie, and as soon as the host is dead, the symbiote will be forced out of his body. So that's sort of their solution for getting rid of symbiotes. Then we get that scene in the alleyway where he's looking in the car window, seeing the reflection of the symbiote talking to him, and the symbiote explains all about what its relationship with the other symbiotes is and why it is that it needs Eddie's help. What the hell is this? Are you a parasite? I hate that word, parasite. Don't know how it works here, but where I come from, parasites are filthy thieves. They steal your life and offer nothing in return. I, on the other hand, just saved your life and ask nothing in return. Do I have a brain tumor? First, you call me a parasite. Now you're calling me a brain tumor. On my planet, that's a good way to get yourself eaten. Your planet, yes, the planet Clintar. That's not a real planet. So they're just trying to establish some of the backstory for the symbiotes themselves. We come from another planet. It's called Clintar. The important thing in that explainer, though, about parasites is that it's describing the other symbiotes like, say, Scream or Riot. Riot is the big one that he ends up fighting later in the trailer that takes over Carlton Drake. They steal your life and offer nothing in return. I, on the other hand, just saved your life. So part of the reason why the other symbiotes don't like the Venom symbiote is because they consider it a heretic of sorts. It doesn't believe in their ways, and that they just want to take hosts and control them themselves, using other organic life forms like humans in this movie as meat cars to just go wherever they want to go. The Venom symbiote wants to coexist and experience life through another host. That's why the term symbiosis is all about. Two things existing in balance with each other. So this whole early part of the film where he gets the symbiote and the symbiote has to explain its backstory and why it's so important that Eddie say yes to the deal. Do we have a deal, Eddie? Is it because the other symbiotes are trying to kill it, so it really needs Eddie's help to destroy the other symbiotes, and all of Carlton Drake's men are trying to kill Eddie, so the symbiote wants to help protect him too, so that they can continue to exist. The symbiote is the first one that uses the term we to refer to the both of them together. Do we have a deal, Eddie? We can do whatever we want. And then later, I think the big payoff for that moment is when he finally stands up and says, "We are Venom," that you hear in all the trailers. When Eddie is saying it, but it's also the symbiote saying it at the same time. And one of the really cool things about the Venom character is that it's sort of a codependent relationship. A lot of comics have gotten into this because Eddie is great at what he does, but he's a little messed up in the head, and the symbiote is a little twisted because of its alien morality. But the cool idea is that you don't totally know where Eddie's mind ends and the symbiote begins. So when they say we are Venom, it's when they've achieved perfect symbiosis. So that it's not, say, Eddie just wearing a suit saying we are Venom. It's one organism made up of two different entities. And the whole reason why Carlton Drake is so hot on this is because he believes that this is the key to the future of human evolution. So he's the one that's responsible for searching space for symbiotes. Once he finds them, he tries to go find more. So that's why it's important to stop him too, because you have a couple on Earth, and while that's a big problem, it would be way, way worse if you have full-blown Planet of the Symbiote storyline where a bunch more come, and it would venomize the entire Sony Marvel universe. That would actually be a pretty badass spin-off movie if they wanted to do an Elseworld story. Hopefully that explains a little bit about what's going on with the symbiote, its relationship with the other symbiotes. It was kind of what I thought earlier, but it just clarifies that the prequel comic book just spells it out in very exact detail. So what'll happen is we'll probably get another trailer or two before the movie gets here. It's only a couple weeks away, so we're not gonna have to wait that long. They've officially rated it PG-13. I've already done a video explaining why that is. It has to do with their future plans for a Tom Holland Spider-Man crossover. I'll link that video at the end of this. But they also confirmed that there is a post-credit scene. I've already done videos about that too. It's pretty much confirmed to be Carnage setup moment for sequel stuff. They haven't said exactly what they're gonna call the sequel, but the whole idea, as you would probably assume, is that Venom does gangbusters, they will do more sequels. They have a trilogy plan. They've signed Tom Hardy for 3 movies, so hopefully after the movie comes out, they'll start talking about what that sequel is going to be exactly, besides just being Venom versus Carnage, because that's pretty much a given at this point, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty awesome. Even if you're not a Venom fan, it should still be a pretty cool movie. They're supposed to be dropping the Captain Marvel trailer early tomorrow morning, so of course, if that ends up happening, I will totally do a video for it. Congratulations, Jason Nguyen, you're the giveaway winner from my last big video. Please email me on the About page of my YouTube channel so I can get your details. Click here to learn about the Venom trilogy that they have planned, and click here for that Spider-Man Far From Home scene. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.